Chapter 2: The Physics of Markets, Time, Mass, and Price Curvature. Most traders analyze markets as if they were linear systems, predictable, stable, explainable through isolated indicators. But the market behaves far more like a physical environment ruled by forces, interactions, and distortions. To understand price behavior, you must understand the physics behind it. In this chapter, we will establish the foundation for a physical interpretation of price, time, mass, volume, and the curvature of motion created by their interaction. This is the analytical lens that transforms charts from flat drawings into dynamic, force-driven systems. 1. Time, the constant force that never changes. In physics, time flows in one direction at a fixed rate. In the market, time behaves the same way. Every candle represents a discrete unit of time marching forward, indifferent to human emotion or trading activity. But time alone does not create movement. A chart with no trades would show nothing but a straight line across the screen. Time is the canvas, not the brush. Without mass, without volume, time cannot bend price, accelerate motion, or reverse direction. It simply moves forward, creating the framework within which forces operate. This is why time-based indicators often mislead traders. They measure spacing and rhythm but reveal nothing about the strength behind the movement. 2. Mass, the volume that bends price. If time is the constant, mass is the force. In markets, mass is the volume of transactions, the quantity of trades that gives weight to price action. This is not a metaphor. Volume behaves exactly like mass in physics. It can accelerate a trend. It can absorb opposing forces. It can bend the expected path of price. It can distort the rhythm of candles. It can anchor price to key levels. Low volume leaves price fragile, easily moved, unstable, chaotic. High volume gives price weight, momentum, structure, and resistance to reversal. Without volume, a breakout is an illusion. Without volume, a trend is a shadow. Without volume, price has no mass, and motion without mass is noise. This principle is the backbone of chaotic market interpretation. 3. Price curvature, the path shaped by mass and time. Price does not move in straight lines, although traders draw them constantly. Instead, price curves, accelerates, decelerates, coils, compresses, and expands, just like objects moving through a field of forces. The curvature of price emerges from the interaction between time and mass. Mass, volume, applies force. Time determines the duration of that force. Price bends according to the intensity and persistence of the force. This gives birth to familiar market phenomena. Parabolic rises, sustained force in a short time window. Slow rounding tops, weakening mass over long time windows. Sharp reversals, sudden opposing force overwhelming existing mass. Congestion zones, balanced forces neutralizing curvature. Price curvature is the fingerprint of market forces. Every bend in the chart tells a story about the interaction between volume and time. 4. Why indicators often fail. Most indicators rely on time series smoothing, moving averages, oscillation cycles, and lagged calculations. But indicators rarely incorporate mass as a physical force. They treat volume as optional, secondary, or merely supportive. This creates a fundamental mismatch. Time-based calculations measure rhythm. But movement requires force. And force only exists with volume. A chart full of indicators but empty of volume is a chart without physics. It is a story missing its main character. The market is not driven by time. It is driven by mass acting over time. This distinction separates the experienced analyst from the indicator-dependent trader. 5. Market phases through a physical lens. When you view markets through mass-time dynamics, phases become easy to recognize. Accumulation, mass quietly increasing with minimal curvature. Price is nearly flat, but mass slowly builds. The market is charging energy. Expansion, mass spikes, time amplifies, curvature strengthens. Price breaks structure with clear acceleration. The force becomes visible. Distribution, mass remains high but curvature weakens. Price still rises or holds, but momentum bends. The force is drying out. Chaos phase, low mass, high volatility, unstable curvature. The system becomes highly sensitive to small changes. Noise dominates structure. This is the beating heart of chaotic market interpretation. 6. The core principle: price is the result, not the cause. Traders often analyze price directly, assuming it reveals the true state of the market. But price is merely the output, the visible trace of forces acting beneath the surface. A candle is not the cause. It is the symptom. Once you internalize this, charts become a map of forces rather than a sequence of shapes. The true analyst does not ask, "Where will price go?" He asks, "What force is acting beneath the surface, and for how long can it persist?" That mindset separates chaotic system analysis from classical technical analysis. Chapter Summary. In this chapter, we introduced the physical foundation of market movement. Time flows forward but creates no movement by itself. Mass, volume, is the true force that bends price. Price curvature results from mass acting across time. Indicators often fail because they ignore mass dynamics. Market phases are expressions of changing force patterns. Price is an output, forces are the inputs. This framework prepares us for the deeper concepts to come.